displaying the glory of God's creation by exploring America one park at a time. Welcome to Parking Full Time with Big Dave, the park's professor. First hole. The par and distance are at the top of the screen. This hole, and really this entire course, is a classic example of a course that is threaded in among the park's other facilities and amenities. You see a walking path here. You'll see that on literally every hole on this course. There was a pavilion to the right, a basketball court behind the basket, and the park boundary close to the left. There's the view from behind the basket back to the tee. The second hole continues west along the same park boundary. It's another short and tight hole. There's this row of planted trees on either side. There's also the park boundary close to the left and the other park amenities off to the right. I do want to welcome you back to Parking Full Time. I am Big Dave, the park's professor. There's the view back to the tee from behind the basket. The third hole has this ridiculous small tree that sits literally 10 feet in front of the tee. Other than that, it's actually the most open hole yet. It does have a fairly low ceiling with these pine trees here, so you have to keep your disc low. But it has the fewest safety hazards so far, and really it's the best hole yet. We are at Desert Sands Park. We are in Palmdale, California. This is the only disc golf course inside the city of Palmdale. There's the view from behind the basket. Now the course route turns north to play along the park's west boundary. The basket on the fourth hole is behind this row of trees on the right, so you need a slight left-to-right disc flight to get close to the basket in one throw. I should say a word about the pars. This course gives 2 pars for each hole, a beginner par and an advanced par, and those are the numbers you see at the top of the screen. So the higher number is the beginner par, the lower number is the advanced par. There's the fourth basket, and the view back to the tee. The fifth hole is another short hole between rows of planted trees. That walking path is everywhere on this course, and I would not want to play this course on a Saturday in the park on the 4th of July, so to speak. You don't want to play this course when there are a lot of people around. There would just be too many safety hazards. There's the view from behind the basket back to the tee. The sixth hole is the most open hole yet, but there are still quite a few small trees here that you have to negotiate. Also up here to the right of the basket, you're going to see a utility building with a black fence around it. I didn't see any way inside that fence, and so if you miss to the right and throw your disc over that fence and inside that fence, that is probably going to be a lost disc. I captured this video on Thursday, February the 8th, and it was a cold, damp, and windy day with temperatures in the mid-40s when I came here. There's the view back to the tee. Hole number 7 is this park's island hole. There's a barely visible brick border around the basket, and you have to get inside the border with your first throw. If you don't do that, then you have to go over here to the drop zone on the walking path and throw with a 1-stroke penalty. Honestly, I don't like contrived difficulty, and I consider island holes like this one to be contrived difficulty. Also, there's the obvious safety hazard of the walking path, and so this is not one of my favorite holes on this course. The 8th hole is probably the most boring hole on this course. It's fairly open with only a few small trees. It's very flat, and in fact this entire course is completely flat, and really there just isn't much else to say about it. I do want to thank you for watching this video. Parking Full Time would not be anything without the people who watch. I realize that every day, and I hardly thank you every day. That was the park's baseball field you saw behind the basket. In many places, this park's other amenities really cramp this course. The 9th hole is the longest hole on this course. There's a large tree off to the left and another park facility, namely the tennis courts, off to the right. There's also the ever-present concrete walking path, which seems to be on every single hole on this course. I also want to mention that I do not receive any monetary compensation for anything I do for Parking Full Time, And so the only thing that I get for writing these disc golf reviews and doing these disc golf walkabouts are your likes, your subscribes, your views, and your comments, and I do appreciate all of those things. There's the 9th basket, and there's the view back to the tee. The 10th and final hole on this course plays around this small smattering of trees. Other than that, it's a very open hole, and it plays to a basket that has a pole that is twice as long as a usual disc golf basket. Overall, I don't really like this course. It's too cramped by the park's other facilities and boundary fences, and there are so many walking paths that create so many safety hazards. I would not want to play here if the park was busy. That said, most of the holes do require you to maneuver your disc a little bit, and so if you're the only person in the park, this is actually a passable half round. That is the end of the course. Have a great afternoon, take care, and Lord bless.